time again. RL and Jenny on the mic, let's go. Welcome to the show where the people get heard. Everyday voices, every thought, every word.
Entertainment, politics, love and life. We break it all down every Tuesday night.
If you wrote a new book or you're building up a dream, got an organization or a message for the team,
pull up a chair, come and share what you know. We open up the floor, let the conversation grow.
it's Overflow,
The Everyday People Show.
with RL and Jenny, yeah, they always keep it real, you know. At 7 p.m. Eastern time, we go live. Tune in, tap in.
Let your story come alive, overflow.
Let your voice overflow. From the headlines to the hard lines, we talk about it all. Real folks, real stories, no topic too big or small. Overflow, the Everyday People Show. RL and Jenny, let the conversation flow. Every Tuesday at 7. Every Tuesday at 7. Every Tuesday at 7. Overflow.
Every day you let us go.
And we are back. Yeah. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to Overflow, the Everyday People Show. I am your boy RL, and she's your girl who?
Jenny.
From the block.
Yes.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to Overflow, the Everyday People Show, man. We got some stuff we got to chop up today. We have a guest gonna be in the building today, coming up at 7:30. Her name is Leisa Stafford, and she is running for a state house
representative.
She's running for
House of Representatives. She's going to be a part of that.
part of that.
I'm gonna say it in advance. She's going to be a part of
in
it.
Georgia, in
Yeah.
District 90. So yeah, we wish I one favor. Just please share this live. Share this live, especially if you know somebody in DeKalb County in District 90. In District 90, please share this live with someone you know who might be in District 90. If not, just share it anyway. What's going on, Jenny?
Oh, I'm just happy.
What you got in that cup?
Oh, I had a smoothie.
Oh, you got a smoothie in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had to power back up from my workout.
All right, that what's up?
Yeah, had to have that protein shake. Yep.
So what's going on?
I'm happy to be in the last week, right before the last week of school. You know, coming off
It's
of
the
a
last week of
beautiful
school?
next week.
Oh,
is.
next week. Oh my
Yes.
goodness. Next week is the last week of school. I wasn't even
Yeah.
ready for it yet. I wasn't even ready for it to be the last week of school. I
I
was hoping
am.
y'all had at least another month left.
No, honey, no, nope.
So you're excited about the last week of
I
school?
am.
It
I
seemed like it was
am.
just yesterday when you was
I
complaining about
know.
going back.
I know. I'm ready
Now
though.
you ready to get out all season. See how quick that happened?
Yeah.
When I told you, I said it'll be over before you know it.
Yeah.
And here we go.
Uh-huh.
Here we go.
I'm looking forward to it though.
Looking to what you looking forward to do?
The summer. I
Summer.
need the summer to just get myself like together, like busy doing all these things for all these other people in their space. I need my space now. I need to own
Okay.
my time. When I have my summers off, I get to own my time.
Okay, then what's up then? So we
Yeah.
got one week of school left. Let's recap what yesterday was not yesterday, but Sunday. There was a week coming out of Mother's Day weekend.
Mhm.
Did you enjoy it?
Oh my
Well, I know
goodness.
you enjoyed it
Yes,
because
I
we didn't
sure did.
share.
I
I
sure
can't-
did.
I can't act like we went together on Mother's Day. So
Yes, I had a wonderful time.
yeah, I got through the day. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah. Of course, our mothers are no longer here in the physical,
Right.
but they are here in spirit. Y'all share this live out. We got a guest coming up at 7:30. Yeah. So how was y'all Mother's Day? Y'all coming in the section. What did y'all do on Mother's Day? Let us know what y'all did on Mother's Day. So we spent a little time with my family.
Mhm.
Did you enjoy it? You know
I
what I'm saying?
did. My children had a good time. I had a good time. It was nice to just celebrate each other as, women that are mothers
Yeah.
and the ones that are no longer here, it was a little tearful for some of us, but
Yeah.
it was nice to be able to remember them, and I felt really good. Like I truly
I
enjoyed
bet the
myself.
display they had, but you already knew they were doing do that though, right?
I knew, but I didn't know exactly how it was gonna be.
Yeah,
So it was
yeah,
nice
it
to
was. I
see
thought it
my
was nice.
mother's
Yeah,
name up there.
to make sure, and that's how our family is. You know what I'm saying? When once you part of the family, you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Everybody kind of like they understand the mission. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I'm glad we got a lot of women. We got a lot of women in our family,
Yeah.
a lot of ladies in our family, and they gonna Mother's Day, they gonna do something for themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If they don't do nothing for nothing else, no, they gonna do something for themselves, man. And I'm proud of the ladies in our family. Um, Auntie Linda, Sandra. I mean, I don't want to start naming everybody. I'm miss somebody. Gonna say, "Well, you didn't call my name." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Y'all share this live out, man. And how y'all doing? Y'all say hello or something. You know what I'm saying? Let me see who all out there. Y'all say hello or something. You know what I'm saying? How y'all doing?
We had some
And
good
please share
food.
this live. You know, we got a guest coming up, Leisa Stafford.
Mhm.
She's running for State Senate District 90 in DeKalb County. So we got her come up at 7:30. So y'all share this live out to as many people as you can, especially if you know someone in DeKalb County in that district 90.
Mhm.
Let's get a win. You know what I'm saying? We got to get over the hump. You know what I'm saying? What you about to say?
No, I was saying there was a lot of good food there. We
Oh yeah,
we cooked and brought some stuff, but it was a part of the big pot, and so
yeah.
we were served, and we had a really like nice celebration. So
Yeah, my family don't do nothing. They gonna eat, man. One thing, hey, listen, my family they gonna eat. We got some cookers in our family. You know what I'm saying? They'll die and breed. I'm telling you, man. If you in a family with with a lot of women and they not and all of them know how to cook, man, you are blessed. You know what I'm saying? You are really blessed, man, because cooking is almost going by the way of the dinosaur, man. You know what I mean? Um, Mike Dawson, what's up, man? That's the fisherman right there, man. What it do, my brothers? Y'all share this live out, man. We got some. If y'all know somebody in DeKalb County, District 90, we have a politician coming on. She's not. I don't call her a politician. She's just running for office. You can't even call people politicians no more
yeah.
because people just want to get in and do the right thing. I think people, regular people, are tired of politicians not
Mhm.
delivering on promises that they
Right.
make.
Right.
And what the hell? I might as well run myself. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that's we got to start supporting regular people running for office and not just people who gonna get in and they gonna take money over. Okay, they gonna get their pockets lined over here. And okay, I know I told the people I was gonna do this, but you just gave me $50,000 to vote this way.
Right.
And we got to break away from that, man. And so Leisa Stafford would be in the building. Yes, she's my cousin, so I do support her. She's my cousin. I know her, and that's, you know what I'm saying, and I know what she's all about. You know what I'm saying. So she's running for District 90 in DeKalb County, state senate, not city. She's running for the state senate. So y'all tag anybody, y'all tag somebody, share this live out to people y'all know in that district in Decatur. This out in Decatur, where it's greater. You know what I'm saying? Later. So yeah, so Mother's Day was good, man. And a lot of see, one thing about my family, they cook so much food, and you have so much stuff, you don't even know what to get.
Yeah.
And by the time you get to that second plate, you full.
Yeah.
You know.
But everybody had them to go place, and it'd be a clean house by the time you
Yeah, but
leave.
I try to stay away from the go plate because Monday Monday is our meatless
Meatless
Monday,
day, yeah.
so it don't do no good to take a plate home.
Right.
For Monday, we're not gonna be eating no meat, but
Exactly.
if I gotta start thinking, somebody could have got a veggie plate.
True.
I should have got a veggie plate, and we could have ate the veggie plate after the show today.
Yeah, but they
So
was killing it though.
but
The
today
go
Tuesday,
places ain't
Monday.
Yeah, it feel like it was
Yeah.
just yesterday. It do because the time is just going by so quick. Sorry, Tuesday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's already Tuesday. So y'all please share this live out again. What else going on out there? So how was y'all Mother's Day? Y'all let us know what did y'all do for Mother's Day? If you have a mother, if your mother's still here or not. My mom is still not here, but I still celebrated Mother's Day with a lot of other mothers that are in our family. You know what I'm saying? It's still a joy to have them, to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? And I like to, like I said, I like to display with
Yeah.
all the ladies in our family. They had a
Yeah.
picture of all the ladies in our family represented it. You know what I'm saying? And that makes you, and I know that makes you feel good when you walk in
Oh,
and you see that
yeah.
people,
Yeah.
see people thinking about your mother.
Yeah, because
You
I
know what
was
I'm saying?
like, it made me tear up because I'm looking at mine and I'm like, it just brought up a lot of feelings because my mother's been gone 20 years now, but it brought up a lot of feelings. I was like, wow.
Yeah, she's been gone 20 years in the flesh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I've learned to look at somebody texted me yesterday. I hope you're getting through this Mother's Day. And I've learned to look at it in a different light. I've been forced to look at it a different light. I look at it now like she's just not here in the flesh.
Right.
She's still here. Everything that she taught me and everything that I've learned, you know what I'm saying? Everything that all the tips and everything that I've learned from her, I still know it. And everything she taught me, it's still in me. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you never really lose them. You just can't see the flesh no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It can be tough a little bit because you want to be able to have a hug or look in their eyes and, hear their voice.
Donna Anderson, this brought mama. She say, I celebrated Mother's Day without my 12 kids. And she ain't lying. She got 12 kids, actually. Mine was the second. So what's up, Donna? What's going on? Yeah, y'all share this live out again, man. So Mother's Day was a good one. What anybody tuned in? What did y'all do for Mother's Day? It was a good day, man. It was a good day. The weather was good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was.
So our family did a little drinking, a lot of eating, a lot of fun. You know what I'm saying? We played. I don't know. I posted a lot of videos on my I don't know if y'all follow me on my stories. I post what during the day what we were doing. So y'all know exactly what we were doing because I'm like a teenager. I post every no moment go unnoticed with me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just happy to be, you know what I'm saying, in the presence of all the women. You know, I bought roses for all the women in our family. So every woman walked through that door, they was handed a rose. You know what I'm saying? It's just a small gesture, because you can't buy everybody a gift card. You know what I'm saying?
Not these days, you'll be broke.
Yeah, and I don't want to be the Grinch like my mama not here, so I ain't studying nobody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? There's still mothers you can celebrate. So that was good, man. Gas prices going up. What's up? What's up with these gas prices, man? Well, how y'all dealing?
High.
Yeah, how y'all dealing with these gas prices? Are y'all staying at home more often now?
I drive less. I can tell you that. I said that last week. I drive less. I do. I take the shorter routes, not the scenic routes.
You got to take the shorter routes now, man. So what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing to make up for this extra money y'all spending on gas? The prices they going up like 10 cents a day now. I think every gas station I pass by they're over $4 now. Yeah. So let me show you. I saw this little thing right here. It was fun, I thought.
Oh my god!
And the caption was, "Y'all tired of winning." That was his motto. Like, I'm gonna be so good, y'all gonna be tired of winning. You know what I'm saying? So he ended up being one of the worst presidents, man. With this war going on over there, man. I don't know how this gonna end. I don't know why he got into it, and that he can't get out of it. You know what I'm saying? And Iran know that it's hurting our economy, so that they holding out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you big dummy, man. You know? But I thought it was funny here.
Of course, it is funny.
Because I remember they were picking at Joe Biden for like $3 something gas.
Yeah.
They were picking at Obama when he had $2 something gas. And now we almost going to go $5. In some states, it's already $5. I know California at about $6, $7. Maybe $8 in California. Because it was $5 when I was out there last year. So that before the war even thought about. So
yeah, it's definitely hurting probably across the board in different ways, certain businesses, because there are certain things I don't do and places I don't go anymore because of the increase, like not just the gas, but just in general.
Yeah, so how are y'all dealing with these high gas prices, man? Y'all and one y'all do us one favor again, man. Y'all make sure y'all share this live, especially if you know anyone who's in DeKalb County, District 90. We have Leisa Stafford. She's running for office for state senate, not state senate, state house in District 90 in DeKalb County. So she will be up in the next at the 7:30. 7:30. So y'all please just share this live. We just ask y'all to share this live. Please share this live with a friend, in a group, somebody, man. Please. I'm like, James, I ain't fed the bed. So yeah, man, these prices are going through the roof, man. And a lot of people canceling trips and everything. A lot of people canceling their road trips and everything because, man, by the time you get to Florida.
and then think about people who have like long commutes to work. Like I don't work far from where I live, but I can't imagine what it's like for people that have to travel like 30, 40 minutes, an hour every day one way to work.
It's got to be tough on them. They've got to be spending like a quarter they check on gas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. By the time they get through getting gas and food, man, you know what I'm saying? I just pray, man, that, you know, they end this war and the gas kind of level off a little bit because this is ridiculous. And I'm beginning to think this is a plan.
Oh, yes. Of course. Absolutely. I mean, you know, things happen, but, you know, some stuff is just strategic. And I think that some of the heart of it is just strategic. I don't think it's all about, it's just, you know, by chance things are just, this happened. So now let's do this. I think it's been set up, you know. So
y'all feel free to comment y'all want to, man. So we'll answer, we'll get to some of y'all comments. What you think about this this new virus thing? You think it's about to take off? I mean, every day it's almost like they change this stuff every day. So and it's kind of remind me of COVID when COVID first started. Everybody was kind of, they ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? And before you know it, everybody was running, getting masks and getting hand sanitizers and bleach and all that stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? And they start, you know what I'm saying? People start getting days off work. So maybe they might use that as a way to save gas.
I know that it's starting off like it's not a big deal compared to COVID. But then they always have this flip side, but you know, it's this. It has a 35 to 40% mortality rate. So that's worse than COVID.
That's worse than COVID.
So they almost try to make you feel like, oh, you good because it's not as serious, but at the same time, the mortality rate is high. So I mean,
and we know that Trump is not prepared for it because he dismantled first of all, he dismantled the COVID response team, and after Obama did it, and now here we are again. Possibly could be headed into another COVID if they don't. Because every day it's like, we found another person, and that's how again. And now you got to track down that person, who that person been in contact with.
But look at how crazy it is with the incubation period. It's 1 to 8 weeks.
Yeah,
that's a long time.
So it'll be what?
That's
almost a month before they even know you even got it.
Up to 8 weeks.
And how many people you gonna come in contact with within a month? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So y'all. I mean, we got to keep our eyes on this, man. And I know they doing their job, telling us to calm down. We got it under control. First of all, y'all shouldn't let them damn people out that damn ship. Y'all should took them people their food and everything they needed until the incubation days are over with. Now they got people in Atlanta, they got people in California. Texas, they don't ship people in different states. You know what I'm saying?
Georgia, Texas, California, somewhere else. I don't know if it was.
Let me play a little report on it, y'all. If y'all ain't up on it yet, you know what I'm saying. I hope it don't fester into nothing bigger, but.
Just into the newsroom, Spain's health ministry says a Spanish passenger from that evacuated from that Hantavirus-stricken cruise ship has tested positive for the virus. As of now, at least 18 people are being monitored here in the U.S. after returning from the cruise ship at the center of that deadly outbreak. 2 people are now being held at Emory Hospital in Atlanta, at least one of whom has tested positive. News Nation national correspondent Xavier Walton has more from Dallas. Xavier, we're learning more about who these passengers are and where they're from. And of course, it's disconcerting to hear this news out of Spain.
Hillary, good morning. And that's why health officials say containment and contact tracing are extremely critical, especially when you talk about the incubation period of 1 to 8 weeks when it comes to hantavirus. But as you mentioned, those 18 Americans back on American soil, 2 of those 18 are at Atlanta's Emory University Hospital. Officials say it was a couple that they were sent there really to preserve space at the National Quarantine Unit in Nebraska. One is asymptomatic, the other experiencing mild symptoms, but hasn't tested positive yet. But the CDC says, this is all part of their long-standing outbreak preparedness plan.
And this hantavirus, the Andes virus, is the only strain that is person to person, but again, very difficult to spread. Is close contact with bodily secretions or respiration, sharing things intimately, toothbrush, etc. We want people to understand we know this virus, it's not novel, and we know what we need to do.
Okay, so the one American who tested mildly PCR positive with hantavirus, they're actually in Omaha and isolated in their own biocontainment unit. CDC officials say additional testing is underway after one pre-return test showed mixed PCR results. Meantime, as you look at this is video of those 18 Americans being taken off the MV Hondas. Health departments across the country, California, Arizona, Georgia, Virginia, Texas, say that they are closely monitoring residents who are potentially exposed to the virus, but weren't notified until after they already had gone home. Maryland's Department of Health also says they're monitoring 2 residents who were on a flight that briefly included a passenger from the MV Hondas. Meantime, we're also learning more about who potentially being housed in both Atlanta and Omaha, according to New York Governor Kathy Hochul. She says 3 of them are New Yorkers. But Hillary, the next step for this, for everyone, at least weeks of close monitoring and also isolation potentially if they do start showing symptoms. But it bears repeating because the health officials continue to say this, the risk remains extremely low when it comes to hantavirus in the general public.
All righty, Xavier Walton, thank you so much for that brief.
So I don't know, man.
I ain't buying that.
I don't. And you know why? And you know why I'm nervous about it? Because I don't trust the government.
Yeah.
After COVID,
Right.
after COVID, how can we even trust anything these people saying?
Right.
After COVID, knowing that Trump has dismantled pretty much everything, every safeguard that we had in place for these type, viruses,
Yeah.
and he ain't even talking about it. He's so bogged down in so much war and all this stuff, man. Trump don't got so much mess going on, man, that he ain't even addressing it. You know what I'm saying? He only thing he doing going to sleep in a meeting or something like that. I'm seriously, he had like hosting like women. He do stuff like that ain't got nothing. Ain't nobody even thinking about. He just have a whole bunch of people behind him, and he let them talk, and he take a nap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not buying some of what they're saying. I really believe that they're trying to keep it the terminology to like to try to make us feel like it's not that bad.
Yeah.
But look at the locations. I'm not surprised that it's somebody from people from New York, like these major cities and major states. I'm just saying.
We pulled out of the World Health Organization.
Yeah,
Trump pulled out of that, so we're not even getting nobody even sharing. They're not even sharing information with us.
And
You know what I'm saying?
and keep in mind our healthcare system is just shot.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we don't.
If you have
If you
healthcare,
have it,
you know what I'm saying?
so it's to me, it's all strategic. You got the war going on. You have this new virus now that's new to us, and everything is happening like all at the same time. The healthcare system is messed up. It's just a lot. It's to me, it's just all designed to break everybody down so that we're controlled. That's just what I feel. That's what I think.
So what are y'all thoughts on it? Y'all give us our comments on what y'all think about this virus, this new hantavirus. Do y'all think this virus potentially can grow into like what COVID did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To where we turn on the news, you see a count, a death count.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You know how COVID
Yeah.
was, and they had a death count. Like I'm like, we really want to know this. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And they keep saying it's not the person to person contact is not great, but look at the incubation period time, and then it's still pulmonary, so it's inhalation. It's about who you've been close to. So if a person has been like having this in their system for up to 8 weeks and they've been around people, how do you know? So you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna
Yeah.
they're saying now, just keep everybody from panicking, that it's not that bad. But again, the mortality rate is like close to 50% if you're talking 40% at the
Yeah.
highest.
Yeah.
And
And I
I
think
just think it's gonna get
yeah, and I
bad.
think when they give us these numbers, they not giving us the real number.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if they say it's 40%, you got to
Mhm.
think it's 50.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they say 3 people already died. So
Yeah.
some of the 3 of the people who was on the ship died already.
And
You know
that's
what I'm saying?
bad because that's
Yeah.
that's a small number of people. So you think about, again, once they got here and they were saying they didn't know until they got here. Like,
Yeah, and then they took some people to an island. They took some in Georgia. I don't. Why y'all? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel for these people, man. I hate.
Yeah.
So I feel for these people, but why would you put everybody else at risk?
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? By you got these people all over the United States now, and all you had to do is keep these people isolated somewhere else
Mhm.
until y'all kept this under control. Now they're talking about one of the person caught a plane with somebody.
Mhm.
I'm saying so now y'all got to track down everybody who was on that plane.
and that's
And when you track down everybody on that plane, you got to track down everybody who they were hanging around. So
yeah.
it could potentially be a mess, man.
I think
so
it's going to be worse than COVID. And
I hope not.
I'm not negative
I hope
minded,
not.
but the way it looks, it's probably going to be worse. That's
Man,
my
I
opinion.
hope it don't end up being nowhere near
I
COVID. I don't hope it, you know
hope
what I'm saying?
not.
Because just the all of the stuff that we had to go through, all of the staying at home, and you know what I'm saying, people treating you like you're an animal. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't
Yeah.
come in here. Even your own family member would treat you like a dog. Like, you put it at the door and get on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
it was
remember I
crazy.
had COVID, and my sister, when they went to the store for me, and they went and bought me some groceries. They left it at the door. I'm like,
It was bad. It was bad.
Charisma, what's going on, my brother? What's going on, my brother? Camilla say it's going to be tested and weaponized.
Studied as a weapon.
What is it?
It's going to be studied as a weapon. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Bio.
he
Yeah.
didn't say study. Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah, man. So it could potentially get out of hand.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just praying that they get this virus thing under control, man. For real though.
Yep.
So with that being said, y'all, we what time is it? 7:30. Okay, it's time for our guest, y'all. We have a guest coming up. Y'all do us one favor. Y'all share this live out to as many people y'all can right now. You know what I'm saying? Right now, just share this live out to as many people you can, especially if you know someone in DeKalb County, because we have Leisa Stafford. She's a candidate for Georgia State House. Georgia State House. I can want to say Senate. For Georgia State House District 90, y'all, in DeKalb County. So y'all get on, y'all hook up, y'all share this stuff to DeKalb County folks, man. I know y'all got some people out there in Decatur where it's greater. Well, come on now. Let me see. So what you want to
Yeah, I want to go ahead and introduce
you want
her.
to go ahead and
Read
do
her bio.
the bio?
Yeah, so I'm going to read her bio before we get her on. So, Leisa Stafford is a neighbor, problem solver, and lifelong advocate who believes strong communities are built when everyone has a fair chance to thrive. Raised and rooted in South DeKalb, she has spent more than 20 years helping families, students, and veterans navigate systems that often feel overwhelming or out of reach. Lisa is running for the Georgia House of Representatives District 90 because she knows what it looks like when governments work and when it doesn't. She's ready to bring her experience, her integrity, and her deep love for this community to the Capitol, making sure District 90 has a representative who shows up, listens, and gets things done.
Get thing done. And that's you
Right.
do now. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we bring to the stage Mrs. Leisa Stafford.
All right. Hi. Long
Hello,
time.
hello.
What's up, Miss Stafford? How are you doing today?
I am great. How are you? Hi, Jenny.
I'm great. I'm great. You look, you know, when you don't want to fix that real nice or something. You got your background set up and all that. You know I was gonna mess with you now. So
Exactly.
y'all tune in.
Exactly.
Y'all please share this live, man. Please share this live to a friend, with a friend, to a group. I know y'all in a lot of groups, man. Just share the live out, please. As we welcome Leisa Stafford to the stage. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great.
Awesome.
How are you all?
We great. We great. You got anything you want to start us off with? So you wanna what they call it when they first give them something to say?
My opening statement.
Yeah, you got an opening statement? I was trying to say some more smarter sounding, like, you know what I'm saying?
Sophisticated. Well, I mean, the introduction is the introduction. Again, I'm a native of Atlanta, born and raised. I've been a social worker for 25 years, an educator as well. My former employer was at the VA, and I learned a lot, good, bad, and indifferent. So when I left last year, I've been out from the VA for 14 months now, just sitting and digesting the ebbs and flows of the current political culture. I just felt like there's a need for me to step up. And I was pretty much thrusted almost into the opportunity by my campaign manager, who had been watching me for the last year and had mentioned it. And I had thought about it, and I truly believe when you manifest things in your thoughts, right? And sometimes we sit and we don't pounce on things that we need to do, and that's just naturally within us. And I felt compelled to qualify. So I went down with a friend and my sister, my big sister. We qualified. I qualified. I consider them qualifying with me at the Gold Dome, and here I am. So I did that in March, and I just want to make it make sense, simply because we need a change. And it's we need a change.
So what do you have to do to qualify?
Pay money first. It's really interesting because that's another thing I want to do. I want to have conversation with everyday people about the how accessible running for office is. So for me particularly, I had to pay $400. And that's only because I did not, the incumbent, I don't have an incumbent, because the person who is in the seat, they're actually resigning to run for another office. But I have there are two other candidates who are comrades of mine, I call them. They had to pay $2,100 because they are running against an incumbent. And it's really interesting, the cost, and that's only to qualify. That has nothing.
Are you saying you're the only one in the race?
No. So
It's
for
an
me,
open seat for you.
it's an open seat for me, but I do. So they started off, there were 5 of us. Now there's only 2 of us. So the other three candidates, they withdrew for whatever reasons. And so it's myself and another candidate that are running.
Okay, so are they endorsing you since they withdrew?
No, they're not. I think 2 of them are.
We're going to buy them off then.
No, it's okay. I mean, that's a whole nother thing too. When it's all said and done, you have to look at endorsements, and you also have to look at talking to and touching the people, and what would be more impactful. Because I believe that politics, for me, you go into politics primarily either due to ego or advocacy, right? And sometimes people like to go into politics saying, I'm affiliated with all of these organizations and these people, and that's why I'm worthy. And some people just want to do the work. Not saying that advocates don't go in and become ego driven, but I'm just saying some people, how they present themselves and promote themselves, they feel as though they're beyond qualified because they have people riding their coattail and or endorsing them. But I'm in these streets and I'm knocking on doors and I'm shaking hands. I'm at Walmart passing out, you know, my walk cards and putting signs, and my sisters rolling up and down the street, and my friends are promoting, posting, and just making it happen. And I believe in the process. I believe in traction, but you have to have action to have traction, right? And I'm just making it make sense until Tuesday. I'm going to run it as best I possibly can.
All right. And so if anybody tuned in, y'all have any questions y'all want to ask Mrs. Stafford, which is my cousin, y'all. If y'all are wondering, yeah, this is my cousin. She run a tight ship. So yeah. So I believe in her. I believe she can get the job done. So if y'all have any questions y'all want to ask, feel free to type them in the comment section. But until then, we got some loaded up. You got something you want to ask for? You want to ask something before we get started?
What area are you that you're most concerned about where there need to be like funding or maybe new laws set in place to strengthen the community?
Great question. So the District 90, let me tell you a little bit about District 90. District 90 is primarily in the unincorporated DeKalb County. So it's really close to, it's East Atlanta, sort of, kind of. So I reside in DeKalb County, but I'm in unincorporated DeKalb. So my address is Atlanta, Georgia, but I reside in DeKalb. So from the Gresham Park, a portion of Ellenwood, Cedar Grove, Henrico, it starts going up into the villages, East Atlanta, a little bit of the villages of East Lake, and then it goes to Edgewood near that Best Buy and Target on Edgewood, up to Little Five Points. It even crosses over Ponce de Leon. And so the Candler Park is where Little Five Points is, but it crosses over to Morningside, Druid Hills, and South Emory. So if you look at a map, and you can access the map from my website, you can see the map. It's like a guitar. So there's the predominance of District 90 is in unincorporated DeKalb, which is predominantly African American. Okay. And then when you get up into the East Atlanta Village and move on up north, it's just pretty much a melting pot because there are African Americans there, but predominantly in Druid Hills, of course, we know they're a more higher echelon middle class. So I say all that to say, by far, historically, District 90 representatives have come from the north end of town. And one of my biggest concerns across the board is, one, most people don't know who their representatives are. And two, they don't know what their representatives are supposed to do. For my position, I'm a candidate for Georgia State House District 90. My ultimate goal is, for the first 40 days of the General Assembly, is to go down to the Capitol and advocate for the budget for the state and laws for the state, but specifically for District 90. So that's that. If you have driven through South DeKalb, just like a lot of other predominantly Black or African-American spaces in Atlanta, our malls are dilapidated. We really don't have a South DeKalb. If you want to buy some sneakers or a church dress or a church hat or a cell phone case, you can get it from South DeKalb. Other than that, there are no anchor stores. But surrounding South DeKalb, there are retired individuals who have made a very nice living, and there are nice communities, but we don't get the funds necessary for infrastructure, for our schools. We don't really have healthcare centers outside of some newly developed kind of Grady hubs in our area. But when it's all said and done, disproportionately, South DeKalb, unincorporated DeKalb County, does not and have not gotten true love when it comes to the budget and the laws that are established.
Oh, okay. So that's cool then. So your job is to go see how much money you can bring to that district,
Yes.
and you decide how it's going to be distributed within that district. Do you have anything to do with that, like schools? How much go to the schools? How much go to public safety? Do you have anything to do with policies within that district?
Yes, so of course, the district, so the budget is for the entire state, right? So once a certain amount of monies are allocated to certain districts, it is the responsibility of the politician to work with the other local politicians, because we have commissioners who bleed into the district as well, right? It's almost like you're supposed to work as a family unit to ensure that the monies are not only evenly distributed, but effectively and efficiently distributed. And we know that's not the case, but let's say, for instance, one of the other keys is that education. Most individuals are not educated as to what laws are pending at the state capitol. Like we're talking about, I'm not sure if you all are familiar with House Bill 369, whereby they're trying to create a nonpartisan ballots for only 5 counties in Metro Atlanta, in the Metro Atlanta area, specifically focusing on the attorneys. What are they called? Oh my goodness, it just escaped me. The district attorneys in the Metro Atlanta area. All five of them are coincidentally Black women. Okay, so they're wanting to make sure it's partisan. So they want us, so we go vote. We don't know if we're voting Democrat or Republican. They just want us to vote. We don't so it's sitting on the governor's at his desk now to see if he's going to veto it, what's going to happen. Most people are not aware of that. 1. 2, most people are not aware of data centers. Data centers are is disconcerting more so than not. 2 data centers are proposed in my neighborhood, particularly African American neighborhoods. Most people don't know the dynamics of data centers. They deliver them to us as though they'll be good for business because we'll get jobs. But what they don't break down is you're only going to have maybe 13 jobs allocated to build the data centers, only to build the data centers. But data centers don't need people to run them. Data centers need electricity and water. So you're going to have 13 people to hire for maybe 3 to 4 months to build the data center, but you'll only hire thereafter. So that's short term. Long term, you'll have 4 people. You'll have a security officer, probably a maintenance IT person, and maybe someone else. So
they might not even hire them out of your county.
Exactly. So they're selling us a false narrative.
Yeah, it is.
Data centers. But in addition to that, data centers use a surplus of water and a surplus of electricity.
I was going to ask you, I don't know if this is a weird question, but is it environmentally bad?
Absolutely.
Well, they use tons of water.
Tons of water. And environmentally, we don't know the impact or effect because, of course, where did they do a study? There's no studies. And coincidentally, they're always placed in African American or Black neighborhoods. Right. So we will want whatever environmental repercussions will. I think we can think about Aaron Brockovich, the movie. I'm not sure if you saw it.
Yeah, I did. I can't. Yeah, what that was about?
So it's about environmentally, there are Black neighborhoods whereby people acquired cancer over the years.
And that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
But again, we don't, just like your podcast, this is wonderful simply because we need to do better education and we need to do better education with our communities first. And even people we have a lot of people who don't vote, period. They just don't want to vote. I've talked to a lot of them. And you have a lot of people who want to vote and they will vote, but they have no idea who they're voting for and what they stand for.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the reason why you're running, because politicians, they never do what they say they're gonna do. I mean, it's almost like if I vote for you, you don't do what I say you're gonna do. What would the purpose of me voting? You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of people not voting has to do with confidence. in the people they're voting for, that they will get the job done that, they say they would do. You know what I mean? Sometimes, politicians, they overpromise. And people they tell it to me straight. They say, I'm gonna do the best I can. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that, but I also think there's a responsibility of constituents to hold politicians accountable and to be a part of the process. That one politician cannot do all of the work if it's not community centered, right? So if I come to 5 to 20, 15 people and ask them what their wants and desires are, I would like for them to rock with me to make it make sense. You see what I'm saying? But people want to just throw you out there and thrust you out there. If we need to call the governor to tell him to sign a bill, I need all 3,000 people in the district, or as many as possible, to do it. Does that make sense? And I think people are they want to elect a politician and just expect the politician to do everything. It needs to be a concerted effort. I truly believe that. And we need to become educated and empowered enough to, if nothing else, go to the meetings, to let the politicians know that we're looking at you. And if you don't do what we want you to do, you will not be voted in again. And we need to work on term limits. We have people who are serving in office for 25 years, and they're literally just collecting benefits and assuming relationships, and it's not to the benefit of the constituents.
Yeah, they definitely need term limits. That's on every level, because they got a guy, what's his name, up in he run Kentucky Senate. He's falling down. Like they actually have to carry him to come vote. You know what I'm saying? I forgot his name. The guy looked like Jimmy the Cricket. I forgot his name. He fell asleep one time. He was talking. He just froze up.
I know who you're talking about.
Oh wow!
I'm talking about he just started looking like this.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get to a question or two. What is your plan to support the DeKalb County schools, especially in underserved areas? If that's an area you be like have anything to do with?
Absolutely. So great question. Again, I reside in Gresham Park. Gresham Park encompasses a fair amount of the schools that they have on the list to close. They don't necessarily have a viable plan as to how they're going to close and or shift the students in the neighborhoods. One, I will educate constituents on property taxes, because they're also, in addition to them stating that they're going to close the schools, they're wanting to propose to homeowners that they could alleviate property taxes. Property taxes support the school system, right? So we need to ensure that we don't alleviate property taxes, because we're alleviating a lot of supportive services, infrastructure, public safety, and other things in the community. That's one. Two, we need to get the families engaged in the community, engaged more, to ensure that resources go into these schools so these kids can have everything they need. We don't fight for teachers enough. And I know, Jenny, I know you're an educator as well. And when it's all said and done, we don't fight for fair pay for teachers. We don't fight for fair resources for teachers, and the disproportionate amount. Like, there should not be 35 students in a classroom with one teacher.
I agree. Yeah.
And we need to step in as a community to ensure that the schools are pretty much calibrating themselves to do what we need for them to do. Otherwise, the kids are always going to be left behind. We don't get engaged.
Right. Yeah. It is the student teacher ratio. It seems like it's increasing. Like it's not good.
So what would you do to get people engaged? So what are some things you could do to get people engaged? You know what I'm saying?
So first and foremost, I would like to have a quarterly community forum. And I would like for that community forum to encompass representatives from all of the neighborhood associations within the district, because we all have a lot to learn from each other. Even if we're here and we're talking to individuals in Druid Hills, because they're doing some things right. They have resources, but they can show us how their ebbs and flows could possibly be effective over here. We know there are a lot of differences, but there are also similarities. And I tell all of my constituents, when it's all said and done, we all want the same thing. And when we understand that, we can work together, because I have met individuals who want to know how can they sit at the table with us to fight for resources that we need in our community. We need to be able to commingle with people who can serve us, and we need to be intentional and consistent about that. So one, it would be collaboration with other neighborhood associations in the district to ensure that we work together to not only fight for the budgetary funds, but also utilize our relationships with commissioners, because they have monies as well, and they can pay for nonprofit organizations, other organizations and partnerships to come into our schools and our communities to make them better. But they're allocating funds according to their personal positions a lot of time, because we back off and we expect them to do all the work for us, and we don't hold them accountable.
Wow. I do have a question for you. So in the position of being a House representative, do you have the grace to create laws?
To propose
To
laws.
help propose? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes, it'll be proposing laws, voting on laws, and participating in the establishment and approval of the budget for the state.
Okay.
But advocating for my district particularly.
Okay. All right. So I do have another question. So how will you advocate for teacher pay, classroom resources, and mental health support for students?
That's another great question. So I do believe that if we're going to do anything, even if it's a penny tax increase, I think penny tax increases can support teacher pay. And I think that when we focus on the tax increases and we utilize the monies that come from property taxes, and I think there's a transparency issue here. We don't necessarily know where the monies are going that are allocated to our neighborhoods. We need to ensure that they're going to our schools, to our teachers, for the resources and the mental health support. Now, again, I'm a social worker. I know clearly that there's one social worker to maybe 10 schools sometimes. We need to do a better job of providing supportive services and wraparound services, because if the adults are struggling, and I was listening, I tapped into you guys talking about the gas prices. If the adults are struggling, we know the kids are struggling, right?
Of course.
So we need to put things in place to ensure and have conversations with the kids before it gets like too engaged within them, whereby now they're going to jail and committing crimes and leaving schools. We need to make mental health a priority.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I agree with that too. So the next question is, what is your stance on school choice, charter schools and voucher programs?
I don't particularly agree with them. I believe that it was a concerted plan years ago when school choice, charter schools, and voucher programs were implemented. And I think the repercussions is that now they're creating lists in Atlanta and DeKalb County to close schools. So you utilize taxpayer money to give to parents so they could take to charter schools, which are private, because these schools are not within the public school sector, right? So the taxpayer money goes to private schools so they can better develop, better resource, and better pay their teachers. And now you're saying that a lot of our schools are underpopulated, right? They should be, because you created a pipeline for them to go somewhere else for those parents who had the funding to pair with those vouchers, right? So to answer your question, I don't agree with them. I think that people should have the choice, but I don't believe that taxpayers who are sending their kids to public schools should have to pay for parents who want to take their kids and put them in charter schools that are private and that are pretty much blowing up and creating avenues for students that we should be creating in public school systems.
That's interesting.
All right, y'all. Once again, we are with Leisa Stafford. She is running for a state house in District 90 in DeKalb County. Y'all share this live out with somebody out there in the Cataway Greater, baby. You know what I'm saying? Just share the live out. I know y'all know somebody in the Cataway Greater.
You're hilarious.
Okay, what we got? We got okay, let's do a little public safety type thing.
Okay. All right. So how do you plan to address youth violence and expand prevention programs?
I think if kids are involved, just like people in general, and they have avenues to be engaged, I truly believe that they would not resort to violence. And this is, again, from a social worker and an educator perspective. We don't even have, one of the things is vocational ed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vocational ed would provide kids with viable opportunities, be it apprenticeships, volunteering, which should be mandatory. I know they shaved that to a degree because it was a mandatory for me, because I graduated, although I started at Shamrock and Decatur, I graduated from DM Thurl, right? So there was a component whereby volunteer hours were to a degree mandatory. Vocational ed was in the school. So we had a substantial amount of our seniors who were able to leave and work programs. And it set them up so when they transitioned out of high school, they had viable jobs already, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of these kids who are committing crimes, there's a component where a lot of the parents are not parenting, and there should be a responsibility. The parents should be just as liable and guilty as the child.
Yeah.
Because if you have a child, you manage your children. Mm-hmm. And I truly believe that we need to put things in place. And a lot of these businesses that are coming into our communities where they're getting tax-free kind of existences, I think they need to, a portion of the proceeds of their earnings should go to prevention programs within the community for these kids. And that would offset a lot of the taxpayer funds that could go into the schools to create vocational programming. We just need to do a better job, and kids need to be engaged earlier, not at the 10th grade level. It needs to start early on.
Yes, for sure.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got anything else, G? What's next?
Like, I do want to ask you. I know your background with working in with families in the different areas with social working. A lot of the things that you're doing to get yourself in this position. What really sparked you? Like, I know you shared that someone kind of pushed you, but what was that spark already there for you when it came to you to say, hey, go ahead and do this? Had that been something you had been dreaming about, and just it was kind of like just a dream, or for you because you knew where your heart was with the people in the community, or was it just you know what I'm saying? Like, was that spark already there, like beforehand?
I think it was there beforehand. I think it's funny because some of my friends when I was younger being in my 20s and 30s, I'd be like, I can't do that. I may run for office one day. And I would say it, you know. And I truly believe that, and I believe it now, meeting people and just all around, may the work you do speak for you, right?
Yeah.
And I've always had the desire to educate and empower people, always. And to create resources. And it just makes sense now because when I talk to people and they're clueless. Some people don't even know that the primaries are here. We're supposed to be voting. And that's heartbreaking for me because when we looked at, I was a history major at Georgia State. And when I studied history, our forefathers and foremothers, they were hosed and jailed and beaten to have the right to vote. And in my mind, if you're just so clueless or detached not to vote, not understanding, if laws are passed like they're being passed in Louisiana, Alabama, and Tennessee, our kids, our grandkids, our nieces, our nephews, they're going to be more of a pickle than we are today. So in my mind, even if I don't touch 500, if I can touch 100 and they can touch 2, I'll be happy with that. But I feel like I need to utilize my background and my desire to impact the community. And we're in a metropolitan area. You know, I was born and raised in Atlanta, and I just think we're pretty much fumbling when it comes to the greatness that we have been bestowed upon us, not just in Atlanta, but across the board. And why not? I feel like I'm doing a disservice to myself and my people if I don't step up to the plate.
Okay. And I got another question. Do you feel that today that people don't think their vote matters? And maybe that's why it's okay.
I think a lot of people feel that way, but I think we have to look at the big picture. I think our vote matters. I think it's more impacted locally, right? And I think that I've had a lot of people personally in my space and outside of my space who asked me about the process, just like you did. How much did it cost, right? What did you have to do? I feel like we need to do a better job preparing our community to be our leaders. And we don't do that enough.
Okay.
Even when I go to political events, a lot of the politicians talk about themselves, what they've done, My whole thing is we need a gravy train. We need to create some traction to create some leaders, right? And we're not doing a good job at that.
Yeah, and I think people have to have that heart that you have, though. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Because that's where the difference will be made for our people.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. But I think heart is cultivated in community, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I think we are detached with creating community. And if we're intentional, because it doesn't have to be your kid, it could be your neighbor's grandson. We need to be able to engage the young people and the older people to talk, learn from each other, and build with each other. We're not doing that too much anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, and change the, like give them an idea and understanding that they can help create the change by being involved in government and politics. Because working with students, when we ask them like what do they want to be when they grow up, no one ever says anything about government or being a politician. Never. That never comes out their mouth.
Yep. I mean,
It's rare. It's rare.
I agree. I agree. I mean, but it's rare too for people it's a requirement for civics, to take civics in school. But I truly believe we need to change also the positioning of how we educate our kids, because this traditional way of how we're educating our kids, they're not retaining it. It's not realistic.
Right.
I used to tell my kids, even when I worked at I worked in different spaces, like in not elementary, but middle school and high school. Even I was in North Carolina for a couple of years. I would tell the kids who were in, they would call them delinquents. I told them, if you skip any class, make sure it's not reading or math, because for the rest of your life, you're going to need to add and you're going to need to read.
That's right.
Yeah. And I truly believe that there's some things that they're forcing down our throats when it comes to education that's not applicable. Excuse me. And we need to be true to it. And we don't need to teach for them to memorize. We need to teach kids so they can apply.
Exactly. A lot of the information that is useless, they won't use it later in life. They won't even remember it.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time.
Exactly. So when we get engaged and talk to the kids and tell them why, I used to have slumber parties with my nieces and nephews, and we would have themes. And I would tell them I would have terms. I'm that nerdy auntie, and we would have liabilities and assets. And I would give everybody, positions, you the manager of this. Yeah. But they appreciated it. And they talk about it now. But I think we need to start having different types of conversations around the table, and it needs to be very intentional, on purpose and with purpose when it's all said and done.
That's good.
All right. Let's get into some more questions for a politician. Or a woman running for a political office. That's how you're woman. I'm gonna categorize you as a woman running for a political office. Technically you're not a politician. You're a person who really cares.
I'm a candidate.
Yeah, you're a candidate. You care about the community, and you want to get in there and get your hand dirty. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
You know, so answer this question: how will you work to expand across the healthcare in DeKalb County? How will you work to expand healthcare across DeKalb County, given the environment of this healthcare? A lot of people don't even know if they're gonna have healthcare or not. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, my first one is a lot of people don't know. So we cannot expand Medicaid because we have a Republican governor who is disallowing those federal funds to come to Georgia, right? So there are families and children who can be afforded more expanded healthcare opportunities if we have access to those federal funds. That's one. But because I'm a social worker, I know that Medicaid is not accessible to everyone. You have to be age, blind, disabled, or the parent of a dependent child. So if you are single or your children are older, you will not be eligible for healthcare, or if you're pregnant. So that's Medicaid, and Medicaid expansion is essential to ensure that families and children are able to get access to healthcare. And another thing too, it's really difficult. I've talked to doctors, and doctors don't necessarily want to take Medicaid patients because it's such a difficult task to get paid. That's one piece. And then for just everyday individuals, healthcare is just ridiculously expensive, even if you buy it through the marketplace. I've spoken to entrepreneurs and other individuals. They're paying their healthcare exceeds their mortgage payment. There's no possible way we're paying taxes the way we're paying them. All of the monies that are hypothetically even going to war.
Yep.
And a lot of other things that we cannot have universal health care. So again, my push would be for us to, that's why we need to flip the House. If we had a Democratic governor and more Democrats in the House, we could put ourselves in a position to assume those federal dollars to, one, enhance Medicaid, and two, push more for and at least decrease the healthcare coverage in the marketplace. So those are the things that I would do. I would advocate for the prices to go down so they could be affordable, and the quality of healthcare be recalibrated, because a lot of people are literally using emergency rooms for primary healthcare purposes.
Yeah, they really are, you know. And I think Grady opened up another place somewhere else, but Grady is always
almost like a little hub of a.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. I'm glad I'm a Grady baby. I'm glad I'm a Grady baby. I
am as well. I am as well. But even just thinking about Grady, I mean, they opened. We have a Grady Center on Flat Shoals Parkway, and I think on Candler Road. But it's not emergency, and a lot of individuals, they, I mean, when they're open, people who working.
Is it similar to like urgent care? Is it somewhat like that?
They don't oversee. Yeah, they don't facilitate emergencies.
I got you.
I think healthcare is that one thing. If I had like one thing I think the government should be a part of it, I think healthcare is that one thing. Outside of, you can take away food stamp, you can take away welfare. Healthcare is that one thing I think the government should provide for everybody, because without healthcare, you really, there's no need for nothing else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you got good health, you can make money. You know what I'm saying?
I totally agree. Healthcare and housing, and that's another piece too. I think housing affordability is a big concern in not only the state of Georgia, but the United States.
Yeah, but in my opinion, I think they want people. They want it's their way of population control. You get everybody sick, and they don't really treat the state. They just what they call it. They give you medicine. They just treat the symptoms. They don't
like
you know what
with
I'm
a
saying?
Band-Aid. And
Yeah. So
they don't
But I
feel
think,
it.
but I think it also goes back to personal responsibility, and that's why my premise is to educate and empower. We have to do just because the honey buns are at the cash wrap didn't mean we have to. That's what we need to eat all the time, right?
and Lord
And
have mercy. Tell me about. Oh my God.
yeah, I mean, and there's some dietary challenges that we need to address, because there's some disproportionate statistics that push towards African Americans, because we don't move as much, we eat more than we move, and our selections are questionable, and especially the kids. And I call them, I've actually had to go to the grocery store with some of my clients, because they did not know the fresh food is on the outside, the perimeter of the grocery store. If you buy anything within the aisles of the grocery store, they're going to be processed. Everything fresh is on the exterior.
Right.
And they didn't even know that, but they would buy the easy stuff.
Now I didn't know that either. Don't be honest.
I knew that, but I still make my way to the center.
Yeah.
So I stand accused, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, but it's just little things. And we can start. I mean, we're at a point whereby, I went to the grocery store to take some things to a friend of mine, and I just bought berries and some yogurt just because they had surgery. It was like $50.
Yeah.
I didn't have no meat whatsoever. So I say all that to say, one of the things that we can start small gardens. That's how you can bond with kids. That's how you can bond with elders. That's how we can control and curb our diet. And it could be tomatoes. Start off this year with tomatoes and cucumbers and bell peppers. And then in the fall, start off with some some cabbage and collard greens. We don't do our part enough. And I think that's a conversation that we really need to have. We don't do our part enough.
Yeah. And it starts in our families.
Yes.
And in the, and then it branches out, because once they learn, then they teach,
Absolutely.
And we were
Absolutely.
talking about that yesterday, about like creating a garden. So yeah, I think that's an answer to some problems.
Okay, let's get into some more stuff now. We ain't letting you off the hook now, like you know what I'm saying.
Come on.
We ain't trying to soft shoe you all out, and you know what I'm saying.
I can't. I've heard some stories, and actually, before I hopped on, I was talking to a house rep, and he was just telling me, this is not for the faint at heart, Leisa. And he was kind of giving me some. I was like, I'm about that life. That's why I'm here to, fight for the people. And so I want to serve. I want to listen. I want to serve, and I want to educate and empower. So that's why I'm here. So bring it on.
Okay. So that kind of flows into the next question. So how do you handle disagreement or criticism while still serving the community?
Oh, Lord. So I am also the president for my neighborhood association. And if that ain't politicking, that's politicking.
I can imagine.
Because people want things their way, and they lose sight oftentimes that it's community driven. And what I do, and what I've always done, even when I talk to clients, they wanted it their way. I've asked people, even people in my personal space, one, what's your vision? And two, how are you willing to participate in the process? And I ask myself that as well. And I believe that you get more bees with honey than you do with boo-boo. Right? So me going back and forth with people, if I know my goal, I'm not going in that direction. I know this is what I need and this is what I want. So I'm going to strategically plan how I can get it, hook or crook.
Gotcha.
And so communication, conflict resolution, and most importantly, planning and having resources available to you. And the resources can be that phone call that you can make and have them connect you with the right person, or the person who knows the person. And so that's how I by far deal with it. And it makes me a better writer and communicator, because sometimes you have to be abundantly clear with people with love.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. Okay. How will you ensure that all communities, especially Black immigrants and low-income residents, have a voice in state policy?
So I'll go back to the quarterly community. I haven't coined a word for it particularly, but the community gatherings that I propose, I truly believe that's when people can come to the table, and I would encourage a representation, a melting pot of individuals to come to the table to give what their needs and their wants are and how they're willing to participate in the process. So the community endeavors would be first and foremost, and still knocking on doors. I understand everybody may not have the know with how, or they don't get to the community meetings. Sometimes we have to go to them because they may have restrictions. And if that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do. So I believe that, be it street captains, community captains, are essential, because we have to reach out to all of our people. Me particularly, I have neighbors in my neighborhood that are in their 90s. If I don't see them, I go knock on their door. And we need to do a better job of that. So I would do the same thing to those low-income individuals and immigrants and Black people, but I would also talk to them about why it's important to participate in the process, to advocate for the things that's important to them. And some of them don't know what's important to them, and that's why you have to break it down, how things are interconnected.
Okay, so you got residents in their 80s and their 90s. So here's the next question.
What transportation improvements do you believe District 90 needs the most?
So here recently, MARTA did restructuring when it comes to routes. So we have the privilege of still having MARTA actually drive through our neighborhood, right? But MARTA has also cut a lot of routes across the board. I believe that establishing conversation and partnerships with MARTA so we can come to the table. Oftentimes, the people who are impacted are not at the table, because I believe that if you're not at the table, you're on the menu, right? Mm-hmm. And I truly believe that neighborhood associations and politicians should be at the table when partners like MARTA are making decisions about the people that pay their salaries. Okay. And that goes back to accountability.
Okay, so I do have a question that kind of a little bit from that. Is it about money, why a company like MARTA would cut some of their routes, which takes away from the people in the community being able to get around that need it?
Yeah, I think a lot of times it's money. They say it's money, but guess what? We don't necessarily see the figures. You know, if you really think about when things are rationalized from the political space, they never show you the breakdown. Mm-hmm. They just give you a summary of why things need to happen. Mm-hmm. So that's why I want to operate in a space of transparency, to break down. We were allocated $1 million. A certain portion went here. This portion went here. We still have this in our account. And most politicians don't do that. They fudge. And they kind of, and it's about them a lot of times. Not saying all do it, but we need to have a greater degree of transparency and accountability to know where the monies are going, right? Because we really don't know.
Okay. Let me see what we
in your Denzel voice.
Okay, since you don't know where they're going, how will you ensure state resources are distributed fairly in DeKalb County? If you don't know where they're going, you know what I'm saying? How would you know if they, how would you ensure that they are being distributed fairly?
In addition to community conversations on a quarterly basis, I would want to do community reporting. Mm-hmm. I would like to, let's say hypothetically, it's called a newsletter, right? But it's providing an update. And most importantly, because the General Assembly meets the first of the year for 40 days. That's excluding if the governor were to call a special meeting throughout the year, right? So that means leading up to the January, February corridor, constituents need to know what's on the table because laws are already being talked about. We typically hear about it, constituents, once they have been denied or approved, right? You need to know about those proposed laws beforehand so you can reach out to your representatives and say, hey, I know you have an opportunity to vote on this. This is what we want. So I want to put myself in a space whereby I can, again, educate and empower constituents so they can be proactive versus reactive. Because oftentimes we want to talk about, oh, it ain't right, but we didn't do nothing about it beforehand.
Right. And we have more power. The people have more power than we probably know to even exercise.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But consistency is key. You and I both know if we put all of our resources in the lap of someone and just kind of let them do their thing, they're going to do, because they know we're not, if we knock on the door every month and say, okay, what are you doing? What's the balance? What are the expenditures? They're going to be more conscious. They'll be like, oh, they're coming. They're going to knock on the first of the month every month, right? But we don't do that. We elect them and we just let them fly.
Right. Right.
And
they know that. They know that.
Yeah. We need to do a better job. That's the bottom line.
Put pressure.
Yeah. All right, take a sip, but we got a few more. Just two more. Two more questions.
Okay. So, what is one issue you believe leaders in Georgia have failed to address, and how will you approach it differently?
It goes back to communication, being transparent. I think leaders, they get caught in the sauce of being a politician and they forget how they got there, right? And I'll give an example. This young man, I went to a sports bar and I was canvassing, and this young man told me he's not into politics, right? But he's a rapper. And he asked me to follow him on YouTube and look at, his performance. And I said, well, that's politics. He was like, how so? And I said, you are asking me to support you so you can get more views on YouTube, right? He said, yeah. I said, and I am here trying to get constituents to vote for me so I can represent them. He was like, oh, I didn't think about that. So the bottom line is, oftentimes laws and politicians, they convolute information that could be broken down in real terms to and for people. My goal is to break it down and tell you how it works in layman's terms. I want it to make sense. Right. I want it to make sense for you. So I don't think a lot of leaders are doing that. I think they if they have a certain position, they'll leave out information and plug in information, just like we talked about the data centers, right? They do that because it's beneficial. Because a lot of politicians get kickbacks. We got to be honest about it, right? And they get kickbacks because they know that they can get the kickbacks because the constituents are distracted or just disinterested.
All right, y'all. We got one more question for y'all. We are here. We are interviewing Leisa Stafford, candidate for Georgia State House District 90 in Decatur, where it is greater. She's trying to bring y'all some minus and resources and everything. So listen, that's my cousin. So if y'all know somebody in Decatur, I got the hookup. Y'all better get out there and vote for her. Y'all. I got the hookup for y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Not the hookup.
Okay, so we trying to get the hookup. Y'all better holler at the girl. You know what I'm saying? So listen, thank you. We first of all, we thank you for coming on interviewing us.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
So what we gonna do? We got one more question, and we gonna put you in the big box. So you're gonna be the only one on the screen. And we got people watching. We want to see what you got to tell the people. This is your last chance to get them to get the vote for you. And the last question is, what personal experiences have prepared you to represent District 90 effectively? And this is your shot. This is you got like Eminem said, you got one shot. All right, take yourself out there. Let me put you on the big screen.
Okay.
There you go.
So first and foremost, again, as a social worker, I've worked for the Veterans Administration. I worked for DFACS. I worked for the Housing Authority. I worked for the school system. I was able to navigate, and I know, Robert, you will be able to relate to this. I was assigned when I worked for the Housing Authority to work with families in Bowen homes and Bankhead courts. I was oftentimes in the houses trying to assess to see what families needed, resources they needed, and there was a shootout ensued. I had to make decisions quick and fast, effectively and efficiently, to serve my clients and to get out safe. I feel like all of those experiences have put me in a space whereby I can navigate, not only to get resources, but navigate within the ebbs and flows of danger, controversy, to stay focused regardless. That's what social workers do. So I am here to represent you across the board and to encourage you, even if you're not in my district. I want you to be the next leader. I'm not trying to be a career politician. I just don't believe there should be. I really don't. But I'm here to be a disruptor, to make constituents more accountable and more in an advocacy space. And I want political spaces to know that constituents need and want more. So let's disrupt this thing together. I'm Leisa Stafford. Again, come and visit my website, www.leisa, Leisa, for Georgia, spelled out, Georgia.com. Sign up to Canvas. We only have 1 week because today is Tuesday. Next Tuesday is the 19th. That's the primary. Sign up to Canvas. Walk with me. Talk with me to see how the ebbs and flows of politics are impacting our constituents. And even if you're not in the county, you can make this make sense. So come and work with me, and I'm here. I'm here to serve the people. I want to advocate for you. I want to be your social worker at the Gold Dome. Thank you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Leisa Stafford, candidate for Georgia State House District 90. And Decatur, well, it is greater. And y'all can follow her again at LeisaForGeorgia.com. That's Leisa spelled Leisa. I don't know why she tried to be pretty like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the mom and dad think about that spell Lisa like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's L-E. And I had a hard time trying to spell your name. I always put the I before the E.
Most people do. Just think about Lisa with the E before the I. And as I would tell my teachers, think about leisure. How is leisure spelled?
Keep it simple. I don't know why black people always try to do this.
I'm just saying. That's how I made it make sense for myself. So
I'm just joking with you.
Think about leisure, and you got Lisa without the extra. But when it's all said and done, I'm here to serve. Lisa with the E before the I, Stafford, House District 90, South DeKalb, East Atlanta. Let's go.
All right, y'all. So y'all got some folks out in DeKalb County, District 90 especially. Y'all look at the name Stafford. Just remember the name Stafford. You know what I'm saying? Remember the name. Respect my dad's name. That's all I'm asking y'all. Once again, Leisa Stafford, thank you for coming in. We appreciate you. And
Thank
you look
you
nice
for
today.
having me.
You look nice today, if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
I'm
cousin.
excited for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And come out. I mean, even if waving the signs, I think there's a different type of synergy when you're involved. And even if people want to get their young people out there, if they want to just get out there and just kind of taste the energy and just let people know that we're here and you need to vote. And just ask people randomly, have you voted? And have a conversation with them. Because believe it, Look up House Bill 369. You guys, if we
I'm about to come out there and hold a sign for you on election day. You know what I'm saying?
let's go. I got
Yeah.
a t-shirt for you.
You got a t-shirt?
Yeah.
You gonna think gave me a t-shirt? I probably have it on now. You know what I'm saying? yeah. She say you ain't gonna do right.
Yeah.
Okay, Lisa, thank you for dropping in. We ain't gonna hold you much longer.
Thank
we're gonna wrap
y'all.
the show on up.
You. And
All
I
right.
put my website in the chat as well. But thank you so much and take care.
Yes.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night. That was awesome.
Yeah. Okay, there she goes. She out of here. All right, y'all. We gonna get ready to wrap this up with Jennifer's. We got Jennifer's quote of the week, y'all, and we gonna get up out of here, Jennifer. We gotta play the theme song. Jennifer got a theme song. What's the theme song? We gotta get to Jennifer's quote of the week before we get out of here. You ready for your quote of the week?
I am.
I am. I'm ready. I'm ready for my quote of the week. All right, y'all. We get the theme song and we're gonna get the quote
From the
of the week.
heart of the people, let the spirit flow. Higher motivation everywhere we go. Jenny's got the word, keeping faith inside. A little bit of heaven to make your week right. Let the cup run over, let the truth speak. It's time for overflow. And Jenny's quote of the week.
All right, y'all. Jenny's quote of the week, and it is.
So the quote of the week is forget it enough to get over it and remember it enough so it doesn't happen again. So you forget enough to let go of the emotional weight from the past that would dictate your present happiness and keep you mentally stuck. And you remember enough so that you can have discernment and so that you could create boundaries so that you don't touch that hot stove again. And I want to read this part because I don't want to forget it. You must release the pain of the past to move forward, but you should retain the lesson to protect your future.
All right. Jenny's quote of the week. Forget it enough to get over it. Remember it enough so it doesn't happen again. I like that right there. It's a tough balance though. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Talk about balancing. You gotta know what I'm saying.
Yes, but you must do it. You must do it so you can have a fulfilling life.
All right. That's what's up. So listen, y'all, we're a little bit over. We want to thank our guest today, Leisa Stafford.
Yes.
Running for Georgia State House District 90 over in DeKalb County. Y'all remember that name, Leisa Stafford. Write down her y'all go check her out, man. Go check her her website out. That's the wrong thing. What did I do? Okay, there
it is up there.
It's Leisa Leisa for Georgia.com. Y'all write it down and go check her out, and y'all send it to somebody in DeKalb County who's going to be voting, man. Hopefully, most people voting. You eligible to vote, go vote. You know what I'm saying? Just remember the name, Leisa Stafford in District 90. So listen, it was nice today, y'all. We had a good time. So what? Okay.
Don't do it.
Okay, y'all. You say it, and I'm gonna say you can't do nothing about it. You say that part. And I'm gonna say y'all can't do nothing about it. Let's switch it up today.
We love y'all. And guess what?
Thank everybody first. You gotta thank everybody.
Okay, look, you caught me off guard with that.
You know what I'm saying?
He's switching it up, y'all. Okay,
See, y'all gotta know the routine.
No, you switched it up on me on spot. Okay, so we we thank everybody for tuning in. We thank all of you for your comments. We thank you for watching and participating and listening to our lovely guests. And guess what? We love y'all. And there is what?
Nothing y'all can do. Well, say we love y'all. And
ain't nothing y'all can
ain't
do.
nothing y'all can do about it. All right, y'all. We out of here, man. Peace.
Bye.